Today, on Be Something Wonderful, one powerful robotic affirmation that is absolutely life-altering. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Really big video for you today. I want to start off by commenting on a video yesterday, how to manifest insane wealth without feeling anything. The idea that we've talked about thoughts and feelings, right? About the idea it's not about controlling your thoughts and feelings. It's about assuming you already are that person you desire to be. We talk about those ideas a lot. In yesterday's video, we touched on the teachings of Abraham Hicks and other teachers who talk about the law of attraction, the emotional guidance scale, the scale of consciousness, and the idea of feeling better, right? Feeling better, moving your way up the scale so you can have a higher vibration. We talked about all of those ideas yesterday. I don't want to go into too much details. But as always, we get a few that really dig in to those teachings, defending the idea of the emotional guidance scale in feelings and all that. And remember, we're not saying that it's not valid or it's not true, right? We love the teachings of Abraham Hicks and these other teachers, right? In fact, I was in her hot seat several years ago. I met Abraham up close, Esther Hicks and Abraham, right? I was right in the hot seat. So we're not creating a debate there. This is what we're saying, right? And I know one of you were sort of repeating what Abraham Hicks teaches about the idea of what feelings are for. And it was sort of like blah, 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 like Abraham Hicks says, blah, blah, blah. We all know that, right? We're not here to debate any of that. So remember, feelings and emotions, we know, blah, blah, blah. But we moved beyond this idea. That's really where I want to take you. Some of you were just sort of repeating the ideas of Abraham Hicks, and I get it. Those are powerful, but we moved beyond those ideas. We transcended the emotional guidance scale to say that you are the scale. It's so much bigger than that, right? Feelings or emotions, or in other words, sensations. And what are those sensations? They're sensations of source energy that are felt in the body. That's all feelings and emotions are. They're sensations of that one emotion, emotion, source energy. That one energy of love, that one emotion of love that's felt in the body. They are simply, so feelings or emotions are simply a physical translation of that one emotion, source or love, whatever you want to call it. Indicating, and remember indicating that what you are thinking or assuming of yourself is either true or not true of that ideal you. That's all they are. They're a translation. They're put through the filter of a thought or an assumption. And they translate that source that you are, that love that you are, into some sensation or feeling. So a feeling that doesn't feel good is the indicating that you're believing something, assuming something of yourself that's not your ideal. That's not true of what your source or who you really are, or what you really believe yourself to be. Right? The true identity. So yes, they act as a guidance system. Some of you were explaining that, right? We all know about that, right? Abraham Hicks has been out there for years and years and years explaining about the emotional guidance system. But some of you, the way you were looking at it, and this is really the glitch, is that you were saying the feelings are your guide. But remember, feelings are not your guide. Right? Your guide is I am, right? So they act as a guidance system, but don't confuse them with being your guide, right? Stop defending them and putting them on a pedestal, right? We all know about this emotion, but they're not your guide. Your guide is your I am awareness. Your feelings, hear this, are just an indicator of whether you're listening to your guidance, your I am awareness, who you really are, or not. but they're not your guide. They don't guide you anywhere. Your I am awareness is your guide, right? So stop defending them and putting them on a pedestal, right? We identify so much with our emotions that we want to repeat this emotional guidance system and how they guide us. We know that. We know those sensations tell us something. But remember, they're not your guide. It's your I am awarenesses that is your guide. So stop defending them and putting them on a pedestal. It's source that's your guide, that one emotion. Your I am, that love, that is your guide. And when that emotion gets translated through some thought or assumption that is either true or not true of who you really are and who you desire to be, then you feel it in a certain way. That's all it is. It's a sensation of source energy felt in the body. So stop making a system out of it that you have to control and master. That's really my message. Right? Some of you are really digging in, going, oh yeah, you're making a system out of it, this emotional guidance system that I have to control and master and work my way up on to get what I want, to manifest a good life. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Go to yesterday's video to see the discussion we had around that. It's going to be linked here. But it's how to manifest insane wealth by feeling nothing. So I wanted to really touch on this. Remember, Abraham Hicks and others talk about the emotional guidance system. Hawkins talks about the scale of consciousness. I talked about that yesterday, but remember this. Your feelings don't guide you. They are manifestations. They're effects of whatever you're thinking or feeling that being put through. Remember, your thoughts and feelings, that source energy being put through your filters of thoughts and feelings. I am guides you. In other words, I am is your guide with a capital G. That's your guide. That's what guides you. The thoughts, the feelings and emotions are simply effects or manifested effects of that guidance. Wow. Do you see it? It's so much bigger than that. They're just manifested effects of the guidance, the true guidance. I am source energy. Your manifested feelings and emotions simply indicate whether you are listening to your guide or your guidance or not. And you have that in a form of feeling that you identify as positive or negative. If you are centered in your I am awareness of being, as in other words, like the show The Chosen, where Jesus is talking to the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda, you only need me. That's your guide, that I am awareness. Everything else means nothing. It does nothing. That's what we were pointing at. And this is powerful because I had a last-minute call with one of you last night. This person is a coach, a law of attraction coach, and a big fan, a big supporter of Abraham Hicks and other law of attraction teachers. So we weren't disputing any of that. But she goes, wow, the reason she had a last-minute conversation with me was on yesterday's video. She goes, Tom, it's a game changer for me. It's a game changer for my teachings. Wow. It was such a great conversation. It wasn't to dispute the teachings of Abraham Hicks or any law of attraction, other law of attraction teacher. It was to get to a greater understanding of all teachings. That's really what we were talking about. And so it was powerful. And she talked about this idea. She goes, I get a lot of comments sometimes about that I'm gaslighting or from others that are talking about when she says just, you can create your desired life by just being it, by just declaring it. And there's others that say, well, you're just gaslighting. It doesn't work or whatever. And she goes, what do you say to them? So, and it's not that we don't get comments or things like that. Our team takes care of that. But remember, here's what I want to say to you. All of you that think that the reality creation is about gaslighting. What I would say to you, when you decide, we're going to be here for you, always. You remember, whatever you view, we know that it's just a cry for help. Right? We're going to extend that love to you no matter what. And when you decide to stop gaslighting yourself, when you decide to stop complaining about your life and reality, to stop blaming your life, your experience on others that you believe are gaslighting you, that are leading you astray. When you decide to stop all that complaining and blaming and gaslighting yourself, we'll be here for you. That's what I told her. That's what I would say. We're going to be here with open arms and hug you so tight. Right? So I just wanted to share that. Remember, I really want to point this out, this whole idea of robotic affirmations that are absolutely life-altering, because I'm going to talk about one today. This is what makes robotic affirmations so powerful, because it's not about trying to feel a certain way in the idea of a physical sensation. It's about declaring it from the highest level of creation, from your true guidance or your true guide, I am awareness, right? It's not about changing, it's about choosing who you are now. It's not about changing any one script or possibility or anybody else. You see, there are infinite possibilities of scripts, infinite potential. You don't change any one of these. The script is written, creation's finished. You don't change someone's personality. You don't change the manifested conditions. Instead you choose. You move to your desired choice. As I am, remember, you're the center. This is the great I am. This is everything, everywhere, all at once. This is all that is. It's all power. It's all knowing, and it's all here and now. That's the great I am. You're the center of it. That's what we're talking about. You as a centralized, individualized, focused point of God consciousness, of that divine mind. Right? Creating, right? Remember, you're in the center of all possible frames or images or scripts, right? That become scripts of your life experience. So that's why Jesus what was the central question that Jesus asked his disciples? Who do you say that I am? That's the question. As you as the center, who do you say you are? Because that decides what script you will be experiencing. It's not about changing or altering anything. It's about choosing. There's not one fate. Every script has its own fate or destiny. That's what fate means. It means you can't change that script. You can choose. They're all potential. They all exist as potential manifested realities for you. And there is a version of you, infinite versions, living those scripts. Right? But they are potential to this physically focused you. Just as your life, your script that you're living right now is potential to that other version of you. Do you see it? So it's not about, this is the experience that we create of a past, present, and future that seems solid. Right? That seems like fate. It seems like destiny, that manifested physical reality. But it's not. You're in the middle of it all the time, choosing. With those infinite frames, infinite realities. The script is written. Creation's finished in potential to you as a physically focused, unique point of consciousness. But you get to choose what script is written for you. And you're always changing scripts. What fate is yours now? Because you're always choosing a different fate. Every script, remember, you can't change it because it does have its own fate. That's why you feel like sometimes it's fate. Because you're in the same script trying to change it, trying to move, trying to change something, trying to alter. You can't alter any one script. And when you do, it changes. So you keep creating that same experience, a new reality, a new identity, but it feels like the same experience. This is powerful. I showed this a few days ago, but we're even going deeper into it. Right? You're not here, you're here to choose. It's not about changing or altering anything. But here's the thing, when you do choose, it's life-altering. It alters your entire life experience, right? But and this is the question, right? We're going to answer this today like we never have before. But Tom, how do I choose? What do I do? What do I do and say? Well, I've said it before, just say the word. Some of you go, what's the word? After a whole video of talking about it. Once in a while, we get someone to ask, well, what's the word? It's I am. Just say the word. But it can't be that simple, you say. What about my subconscious past and that conditioning that I had in my life? And the 3D physical circumstances that are right in my face? And not to mention the seemingly endless negative and contrary thoughts and feelings. And you're telling me to just say the word and choose? Yes, that's what we're telling you. We know that you're going to dig in there, right? And argue for your limitations. Argue for your limiting beliefs. But when you do that, that's the little me that feels outside of this center as reality. You feel like you're here. You feel like it's the little me stuck in this frame with a past that you can't change and you need to live with, and a future that's etched in stone, that you're not going to ever realize that dream. That's what you feel like. That's the little me that seems outside of it, the personality, right? The personality that feels limited, separate, and unworthy. But remember, that personality is a unique essence or a unique vibration or a unique frequency or signal of all that is. It's not unworthy, limited, or separate at all. It's utterly worthy. You can't get more worthy, more one with the divine mind than being the center of it. Do you see the power there? So I really want to hit this idea. Remember, you couldn't create the experience of feeling unworthy or feeling not fulfilled unless you were utterly and completely fulfilled and worthy as the center of that one divine mind. So it's not the physical 3D personality that is choosing. Here's the big message, right? We think it's that 3D physical personality that's choosing, that feels limited, separate, and unworthy. So we continue to create experiences that feel separate, that feel not fulfilling, no matter how much we feel that we're getting or experiencing. It still feels separate, limited, and unworthy. It's not the 3D personality that's choosing. The 3D world personality is simply the apparatus or mechanism through which you physically experience your choice. Hear it. So we love the 3D personality. It's integral as part of all that you are. But it's not the one doing the choosing. Do you get the idea here? It's simply the mechanism or apparatus, whatever you want to call it, through which you physically experience that choice. So who's choosing? If it's not me, that little me choosing, if it's not that little me choosing, who is? I am. I am. That's who's choosing. This guy, not this guy or that little me, right? And Jesus gives us this message in John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I chose you. Wow. Your I am awareness is choosing. You did not choose me. With a capital letter in Scripture. Capital M meaning I am. But I chose you. I chose you as the center of the divine mind. You, the little me. You, the little me. Right here. The little me did not choose me, that divine mind, that all that isness, that I am awareness, right? But I chose you. I chose you as the center of all that is and all that I am. Wow. Do you get this? You did not choose me, but I chose you. The little me did not choose anything. It was you as the center of the divine mind, of all that is, of that one source, of all power, all knowing. I chose you. You as the center choosing. Wow, that's powerful. In other words, the limited physical me, that small me that feels separate and unworthy, doesn't choose. But you can create the experience that it does. The experience of desiring and wanting and non-fulfillment and not being fulfilled. The experience of lack. And then cry out, robotic affirmations don't work. Nothing works. It's gaslighting, and you complain, and you in that small me, and you say nothing is working, right? But that's because you're believing that you're choosing. But who's choosing? You are. Not the little me, not the little personality, but you as the center of the divine mind. That's why robotic affirmations are so insanely powerful. But when it's the little me, then I've got to feel good. I've got to work my way up. I've got to feel good. I've got to think the right thoughts. I've got to feel good and think the right thoughts to create the life I want. Right here. I've got to feel good about this reality that I don't choose anymore. I got to feel good about an identity that I don't resonate with anymore to get what I want. It's not about that. It's about choosing who you are as the center, not the little me that feels limited, separate, and unworthy. That's powerful. So let's continue. That's why the centurion, in the healing of the centurion's servant, says in Matthew 8:8, Lord, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word. My roof, the little me, the little limited personality with my limited, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof with my limited, fragmented perception and partial seeing of who I really am. Right? I'm not worthy of that. For that I am worthy. But just say the word. In other words, just say the word as the center of the divine mind, and my servant will be healed. In other words, my perception, my fragmented and partial seeing will be complete and whole. I will see myself as healed, whole, and complete. I will see myself as the center of everything I want and desire. I will no longer see and assume that I am only that limited 3D physical personality, or I'm only that limited apparatus or mechanism through which I see and perceive the reflections and projection of the 3D world. I'm no longer going to just identify as that apparatus or that mechanism through which I see and perceive, reflect and project the physical 3D world. I'm so much more than that. You're not choosing from that limited apparatus or mechanism, that personality that some teachers call the ego. Or in Scripture they call what's called the evil. There's good and evil, right? All of that, the devil, or what's called the devil, you're not seeing through that apparatus. That's just there it's there through which you see and perceive, reflect, and project the 3D physical world. It doesn't choose. You didn't choose me, as Jesus said. I chose you. Wow. Powerful. That's why robotic affirmations are so insanely powerful, or in some cases can be. It depends where you're choosing from. Is it the small me? Is it through that mechanism, that apparatus for seeing and projecting the 3D world? Are you seeing it through that as the center of I am awareness? You did not choose me, but I chose you and anointed you that you would go and bear fruit, that your fruit would remain. This is the complete verse in the Scripture. Wow. So that you would go and bear fruit, so you would go and manifest and create whatever you want and desire. And that your fruit would remain. In other words, that power and awareness through which you manifested everything you want and desire would remain with you as that unseen substance, or that I am awareness through which everything is created. That's powerful. So that whatever you ask of the Father in my name, He may give you. In other words, whatever you ask, whatever you choose, as I am awareness, source, all there is, in my name, in my awareness that I am the center of God consciousness, He may give you. You will experience because you're choosing. You're not changing or altering anything. Right here, you as the center of the divine mind are creating the idea of a past and future. But they're created in this moment. But you as the center, it's not the me that believes they're fixed and hard to change. And that I'm not living the life I want. Robotic affirmations do nothing for me because this still hasn't changed. Do you see it? Ask. So that whatever you ask, whatever you choose as the I am awareness of that source that you are, all that isness that you are, in my name, in the name of I am that person that I already desire to be. He may give you, of course, right? Of course, your source. Try this. This is one that one of you was playing with, and it was really powerful. It's things we've talked about before, but try this affirmation. I want to show you why this is so powerful. I am rich, powerful, free, and in love. This one idea, right? This one idea. Now, it's coming from this idea that source, or all that is, you're the center of it. Those are equal. You as the center of the one divine mind. I am the center of all of it. I am rich, meaning his riches, the riches of wealth of all that I am awareness. You're all power. You're all wealth. You're completely free. And you are love, so you're in love because you're love itself. That's why this is so powerful. You're one with the Father, but the Father is greater than any one of my physically focused perspectives and viewpoints. That's what the whole point of that inscription means. I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I, greater than any physically focused perspective or viewpoint I can have at any one time. But oh, the depth of the riches, both the wisdom and knowledge, the knowing that is all power. How unsearchable his judgments and unfathomable his ways. It's total love and freedom. Stop trying to figure it out. You're never going to figure it out from that small me, from the mechanism or apparatus through which you see reality. Right? You're never going to figure it out. Remember, whenever you look at reality, past, present, or future, it changes because you looked at it. And that changes everything. So you're not going to be able to change it from that physical person, from that 3D small personality. That's just the mechanism through which you perceive it and project it and reflect it. All the riches, all the power, all the freedom, all the love in the world is I am. That's why I love this affirmation. It includes everything you could possibly want. Create images. I like to write down things and just leave them all around the place. And then I find them, I go, oh yeah, I manifested that. Oh yeah, I created that. Right? Do that kind. Just write down your 3 biggest dreams. And then affirm this robotically. Try it. Right? Test me now as God. Right? That's what Scripture says. Test me now, that I won't open up the floodgates, the windows to heaven. Right? I am rich, I am powerful, I am free, and I am in love. All the riches, all the power, all the freedom, all the love stands with you. You got to just say the word. One robotic affirmation that is absolutely life-altering. But of course, you can use your own affirmation. It's not this one that does it. It's you as I am awareness. But it includes it all, the all-knowing, all the power, all the freedom, all the love you could want. You're it. So reality must yield. The physical experience must yield to that state of being, must yield to who you're being. It's law. It has no other choice. The 3D reality doesn't exist outside of you. It has no will of its own. You are its will as God's will. And nothing can thwart God's will. And you are the center of God's will or God's mind or the center of awareness. Wow. That's one powerful robotic affirmation that is absolutely life-altering. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, anywhere on social media at Tom Kearin or at Be Something Wonderful, and for being part of our membership channel. We just announced the live stream on the channel. We posted it to the board. That's going to be this coming Sunday, September 29th, 2024 at 9 Pacific time in the morning. We're going to come to you live from the studios of Be Something Wonderful to answer your questions, to talk about topics that are important to you, and to answer your questions live right on the chat. Join it. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.